Welcome. I'm glad to see you. Let me turn down my, there you go. Okay, I'm glad to see you. We're going to have a lot of fun. This is going to be a very pretty painting for you to keep. And I hope some are painting now, but if you're not, I always keep these on so that you could paint later. So how's everybody doing? Let me see the chat. Okay, so there's a few people that are going to join us, and I have a delay. I'm just going to chat with you for just a minute. For those of you who have not joined me before, my name is Angie Green. I am with Painting with Fibromyalgia, and what I try to do is encourage people to paint to help distract them from chronic pain and paint for fun. So I try to show people how to do it in an easier, more free manner so that painting doesn't increase the pain. It kind of calms it down and takes your mind away. So this is what I encourage. Painting is very healthy, and I have a Facebook group, Painting with Fibromyalgia. So if you join the Facebook group, then you'll have that home base of people who understand you. Okay, so how is my sound? Gina, hello. Uh-oh. They say that's good for art to paint left-handed, but it sounds like you're having trouble with your right hand. Hi, Jennifer. And Tina, welcome. Okay, so I'm gonna get started pretty fast. Hi, Carol, Bonnie. How's everybody doing? Ah, your wrist hurts. Ah. Well, be careful. Don't aggravate it more. But I'm glad you're painting. I'm interested in seeing how that turns out. I'm going to transition over here so that you can see the, boy, I have to change the color on here because now that I painted the background, the color is off. It looks very brown. So let me work on that while you all chat. See if I can fix that. Let's see. Okay. Okay, let me see. 3 canvas. What I'm doing now is adjusting the color because this color is way off. And see if I could fix that. Well, that's not helping. Okay, that might be a little better. It might be the yellow that I have behind it. Let me see if this helps. Okay, because the canvas is black, so I'm just playing around here. Just to see if the color, okay, that looks about right. Playing around, trying to check. Let's see. Can't really see that. Yeah, that looks about right. I'll put my, okay. Everything, yeah, that looks about right. Everything was right until I painted my background, and then it got crazy. So, I don't let those things bug me anymore. I'm gonna apply, okay. Now, okay, back at you now. This has a little bit of a glare, but you can still see it at least. Okay. All right, so I used different colors and I made it almost black. Hi, Erica. Good evening. Okay, Jennifer. Yeah, just hang out and relax with us, and enjoy some encouraging conversation. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get started on here. The picture is going to be waterfalls over rocks, and then there's going to be some flowers in the foreground and some leaves in the background. So what I'd like to do, of course, is start on my background, and I'm actually going to start on the rocks under the waterfalls. So I put my colors out here. For that, I have my yellow ochre. I have my brown, my burnt umber. I have some zinc white, and I have some phthalo blue here. I don't know, I just kind of like working with phthalo blue better than I do the ultramarine blue, even though the ultramarine blue is a little bit more landscapey. But I tone it down with the yellow ochre. So we're going to get started on that. I'm going to do some rocks. I almost want to do it with a palette knife. However, if you're not prepared to do that, let me know if we could do it with the brush instead. Might be a little faster. Okay. And let's see. Where's the brush I had? Not the brush I had. Oh, I know. I left it in the kitchen. I'm like, where'd my brush go? I'll get this one nice and wet then. So what I'm going to start on right now is the rock. It's like a rocky hill that the waterfalls is going to come under. I have my really dark background, so I don't have to put that in. And it's going to all come together. So I have some brown here, and I'm just going to get the edge of this zinc white just to lighten it up a bit, and the edge of this yellow ochre. Alright, now let me know, or let Georgia know if you can't hear me. The palette I can't do a whole lot with. I'm working in a tight space, so I just hope you could see me. And then Georgia, watch for it. Honey, can you see the palette? Can you see what I'm doing?
No.
Oh, you can't? Okay. I don't know how you... I don't know why not, because I have...
I'm just having trouble with this thing.
Oh, you're having trouble. Oh, okay. All right. So now I'm going to start up here. Kind of part almost to the top, but not quite, and it's close to the right, and I'm going to curve down here to the opposite side, close to the bottom. Okay, not very close to the bottom, but I'm going this direction. So let me see if you could see that before I... Okay, so it's brown on black, so it's not very, very clear. Okay, I'm just painting this in just so that you could see that. Just painting this in. Okay, all right, and then I'm gonna go darker because that's gonna be waterfalls over that. Okay, so I'm anticipating what I'm going to be doing, bringing this down. So this is my burnt umber mixed with a little bit of titanium white and some yellow ochre. Okay, so that was pretty easy, but I want to make it look a little rockier, so I'm going to leave it like this for a little bit and then come back and add to it. I'm going to come back and add to it after it dries a little, okay? So I'm going to go into my, I still have a dirty brush, which is fine, And I went into my phthalo blue and my yellow ochre. Okay, and I have a really dark green. I'm going to touch a little zinc white in there just to make it a little more visible for you. But I have a really dark green. And yeah, you see that. It looks like blue. But with the yellow ochre, it's more of a greenish, very dark forest green color. And I'm going to go up here above the waterfalls, and I'm going to just brush that in. I'm just brushing that in, and I'm going to add leaves to it. Okay. I'm leaving some of the dark showing through, which would be fine. That's going to add to the painting actually. So I'm leaving some dark. I left some dark up here. I left some dark here. So I'm leaving some dark showing through it. And just adding, excuse me, adding some very dark green there. Okay. Then I'm going to go up here and do the same thing, top right. Gonna just lightly, not all the way covered, just add some green. And this is just going to make life a little easier for me. I'm going to have more brown down here. Okay, so this is going to be brown and green mixed. I have a little of both on my brush, and I'm keeping it like that intentionally. This is the ground. The ground is the green with some light brown or tan streaks. So this is very loose. I'm doing it very loose right now. Okay. All right, and then we'll be adding to that later. I'm going to get up here toward the top, and I have my dark color again. And I'm going to just paint some more greens this direction. All right. And this is just very, almost like blocked in, which you're not used to seeing me do, but I really needed to do that. And I need to go darker right at the bottom of the waterfalls here. And then I'm going to go brown. Still haven't cleaned my brush, and this is going to be right here. It's going to be more of the water, so I'm going to go right here with that, and then I'm going to dip into my zinc white just to lighten it up. I don't want a really white. A little more zinc white here so that you can see it's the water. Okay. So that's going to be the end of the falls, but the water, I have the really dark before I get to the light. So at the very bottom of the waterfalls, that brown waterfalls, I have a really dark, because I'm going to put the splash in there. Okay, so that's kind of how the beginning part of it is. So that's your second layer, your second coat there of paint. Hard to focus. Well, that's because it's so dark. So it's going to be hard to focus because it's dark on dark. So you'll be seeing it as we add to it. You'll see the color come out. Okay. Okay. All right. So Tina, you're going to be catching up. Is that what you're saying? Okay. So I try to put it in the description ahead of time. I try to give you, I think I put the very dark background in the event. So I try to get everybody up to speed. But today, I did it today and not like a couple of days in advance this time. So let it dry because it doesn't take long. And if you want to speed it up because we just got started and you're not tired yet, go ahead and use your blow dryer. That'd be fine. Go ahead and, Tina, if you want to catch up, use your blow dryer, because I typically don't use the blow dryer. because it's further along and I don't want us to not take breaks and not rest. Okay. So just with me talking, part of this painting has already started to dry. So I'm going to switch brushes to a angle brush, one that's not so big and fluffy. And I'm going to lighten up these areas of the green leaves. So I'm putting some leaves right here in that corner. So what I'm going to do is lighten it up here. I'm going to put some yellow, add yellow to my palette if I find it. I had it. Here it is. Adding yellow. It's hands of yellow. I'm out of can't find my cad yellow, but the hands of yellow is fine. See if you could see it. Let's see if you could see my yellow. I'm looking. I have a delay. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I added yellow to my palette, and I'm going to be bringing the yellow in to form some leaves. So, and then I'll put my branches on top of my leaves. If they're not going everywhere, okay, and you'll see because it's yellow and it's pretty transparent, you'll see that it will still blend in. So I'm just making some little dashes, and that's the fun we're going to have here. Is we're going to see how easy it is to do landscape with flowers. So I'm just making some little dashes, some little dabs, and I'm going this direction and just coming from the top and going this direction. Okay, then I'm going to skip this dark area and do the same thing going this way down here. So you see it's starting to look leaf-like. Dabbing into my yellow again. And I'm going to be coming down here, skipping some dark areas, coming down here. You see, you get that now? And you see how that looks like leaves. Okay, so it's pretty much an impression type painting. I'm going up here, skipping some dark areas. Okay, I'm going to darken the leaves a little bit and get a little bit darker green color. Whoa, I did the opposite. Let me go into my yellow ochre. And then close to the waterfalls, I'm just varying the color just a wee bit. So I dipped into my yellow ochre to trade places with my yellow. Still the same brush. Okay, still skipping some dark areas. And while I have that darker green with the yellow ochre and my yellow mixed into it, I'm coming up here and I'm doing the same thing. Okay, so I'm varying the color of the greens a little. And I'm keeping some of that black background. I'm skipping down here, doing the same thing. Okay, and then coming down here and doing the same thing. So you see that starting to get that watery, woodsy kind of look to it. Okay, up here, throwing some in here, and I'm not dipping into it all the time. I'm leaving some of it where it's muted and some of it where it's more freshly dipped into. Okay, all right, so that's like the beginning of it. Now what I'm going to do with this green here is I'm going to add a little bit of it to where the water is going to be, so that doesn't look so uninterrupted. These are going to be the rocks, and I'm dipping into that dark green color that I made, and you saw it earlier. I'm not going to move my palette over just for that, but I'm dipping into that dark green color, and I am just going to go into this just a little bit. I'm going to cover this up with water, but I want to go into this just a little bit to get that rocky feeling to it. And I'm gonna mix a little bit of a light brown. So that's my yellow ochre. I'm dipping into this zinc white. Let's see if I could find it on here. Looks like I'm looking for a space on here. I'm looking at my palette now. It's a delay. Okay. So see that light brown? See that light color? I'm going to dip a little bit into that zinc white again. And I have a light, kind of a light muddy brown. I'm going to give like a rocky appearance on part of this. So you see where, and see if you can see that. You see where that's giving a rocky appearance here. Okay. And I'm going to go over here and do the same thing next to where I threw some leaves. And up here I'm doing the same thing. And then down here I'm doing the same thing. So I'm giving it just a little bit of a rocky appearance. I'm throwing a little yellow in here. Okay. And I don't want it to look like leaves, but I want you to be able to see that. Put a little shelf on here. I want you to be able to see that after I start adding the water, after I start putting that white in there. Okay, so now I'm gonna lighten this up a little bit because now it should be starting to look a little bit lighter. I'm gonna come over here and see if I could brighten it up, because now it's still looking a little dark. At the beginning it was supposed to, but as I start adding my lighter colors, you should see a difference. So I'm gonna see if I could fix that, brighten it up a little bit. And now it's not going to be so thrown off because the canvas isn't black. Okay. Turn it up. There we go. Now you can see that quite a bit better. And the contrast, turn that up. Okay, and then my saturation, I'll turn that up a little bit. Okay, now it's starting to look a little bit more like it's supposed to. So sometimes you have to make adjustments when something is all white or all black. It tricks the camera. So now you're starting to see. And honey, if you want to give me feedback, are you able to get on yet?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Can I see it? Because I can't get feedback without you.
Oh, well, I mean, I got the chat.
Oh, you have the chat. Well, give me feedback because I can't
Oh,
see so many things at one time.
Oh, there hasn't been a whole lot.
A couple people are painting, so I just want to make sure they're okay. Okay.
Are we connecting the dots, Angie?
Yeah, it's starting to look like the background of a painting, right? But it's gonna pop. You'll see it pop. Okay. So now I believe my next thing to do is to I'm gonna add some zinc white, and I'm gonna rinse my brush out. And as this is drying, I'm going to add a little bit of zinc white to the leaves to make the sun capture the leaves a little bit. Okay, and bring that yellow down just a bit. So I still have some zinc white. You might not be able to see it. I'll put it over here. You can't see zinc white on a white palette paper anyway. So you have to take my word for it. And I'm just going to hit some of these areas here just to bring that out. I'm just going to hit some of these areas here. My zinc white is actually going to be another color in this case. See how that's bringing that out? It's going to be another color right now. So bringing some of these leaves out. I want to I want the sun to reflect off the leaves, and that's what my zinc white is doing right now. Okay, so just adding another element of color. All right, now this is dark. That's supposed to be dark, but this is supposed to come out. This is supposed to be getting a little sun-kissed. All right, okay. I think I need some more leaves here along the waterfall. So I'm going to put some more leaves along that. And sometimes you just have to play things by ear. Okay, now I'm going to take that zinc white and then touch this a little bit. Well, that was a big touch. Calm that down. Calm that down a little bit. Okay, so you see that now? You see how the zinc white is adding another element of color here. And then I'm going to I need some more yellow ochre, and I'm going to add a little bit of yellow ochre to that too, because we want it to be foresty. So I'm adding a little yellow ochre to it as well. And how are you doing? Getting there? Okay. So here's my yellow ochre. I'm throwing a little yellow ochre in there just for another bit of color. Still don't want to cover up all of the dark spaces. I still don't want to do that. Maybe. And so this has some zinc white and it has some yellow ochre. So that's giving me more of my, now I'm going to take my yellow, and I'm this time going to blend it in with my green. Blending it in. I'm just touching it up a little bit while I have my greens are still, while my leaves are, I'm still adding leaves and I have green on my palette. So I took my yellow and my green, and I'm not covering over those leaves. I want them to be another color in addition to what's on there. So I took a light color, made a green with yellow, added to the green that I made, and I still have a dirty brush, so it has white in it. And see, I just added another color so that, you know, you have a little bit of a mix here. And I'm just putting a little bit here too, because the sun usually doesn't just stick in one spot. It's going to reflect. So, all right. This side I'm not worried too much about. I'll just put more of a medium green in here because I'm going to be covering that up. So I took and make a medium green with more of the dark green and less of the yellow and less of the white. This is going to be covered up. Okay? So I'm just making sure that I have all my background elements in there while I still have green not dried up on my palette, although it's getting there. So I'm mixing them all together, and I'm throwing some of this color down here under the water, and this is a mixture of my yellow and my green and my yellow ochre, and I'm just throwing all these colors at the bottom. So this is very what do you call it, very impressionistic, which is kind of good for us because that exacting stuff doesn't quite work. I want a darker color for here. So I'm adding the brown, just the plain burnt umber on top of that yellowish color I put on there. Plain burnt umber. Okay? And then I'm just going to go down here and just a little bit of blending. A little bit. I don't want everything to look like a leaf. So a little bit of blending down here. I'm still not covering over all of my blackish color. I'm letting bits and pieces of it shine through. Okay? So there we go. So there's our background. I'm going to make a very dark very dark green, hitting that burnt umber and a little of the phthalo blue, and I'm dotting up here because I want this really dark. And so that's that. Okay, that is that. All right, not done yet. Let me see if you have any questions.
No questions.
No questions? Okay. Angela Maxwell, hi. How are you? We're doing waterfalls and flowers, and I can't wait to get to the flower part. So now this is starting to dry, and we're going to put some branches in here, okay? So I'm just going to wet my brush, and I'm taking the burnt umber, and this is my angle brush. I didn't do a whole lot to clean it off because it doesn't need to be. I'm just making it brown. And I'm going to make some branches on here, skinny branches, okay? So I'm going to go on top of everything, and I'm going toward the tree because there's going to be a tree here, all right? So don't get too excited because it seems backwards. Very lightly, I'm just going to make some branches like that, very lightly, okay? And I'm going to highlight them so they will stand out. With my angle brush, I made 2 going across here. I'm making some right here. Okay. I'm making this right there. Just using my angle brush. Okay. And now I'm going to make a thicker piece. Not ridiculously thick, but a thicker piece. I'm going to go right here, make a thick piece. Okay. And then the thickest piece and the darkest. So I'm taking my burnt umber and I'm mixing it with my phthalo blue to make a very dark piece. And I'm coming down across all the way down. So I'm going down like this. Okay, so it almost looks black. All right. Now I'm going to wipe this brush off, or else use another angle brush. I don't use a lot of brushes while I'm painting. That way I always have some newer brushes on hand. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my zinc white. Okay. More zinc white that I got dirty. And I'm making my brush skinny. You know how to do that. And then I'm going to highlight. I don't have it. It's not real thick on the brush. And I'm going to highlight just the very top edge of these branches. So I'm just doing that top edge. Otherwise you won't be able to see them with my zinc white. Okay. And I'm going to go over this one. So you see that coming? Okay. And you don't have to be perfect because it's all an illusion. I'm going to reload into my zinc white. And I'm going to come down this fat branch on the right. So everything, okay. All right. I'm going to come down this fat branch in the middle in spots. All right. And I think what I'm going to do is make it look like there's another branch here without really making one. Okay, and then I'm going to hit that dark color again, which is not going to look that dark. And I'm going to go over here and just make one more that fades into the background. All right, so that's part of a tree that you see there. And let me see if you're seeing that on the screen. Is that showing up for you? Okay. Oh, thank you, Angela. Awesome. Angela said she's sharing, so I appreciate that. I'm going to go into the zinc white, and I'm going to hit this one more time, this branch right here. Okay. So now you see some of those branches show up. Okay. Now, after all of that is said and done, I need to put some more zinc white. Zinc white gets kind of absorbed into everything, but that's That's part of what it's supposed to do. And I'm moving my palette over because you don't need to see that little mess. And we're going to start on the water. So I'm throwing some zinc white in here and some regular titanium white. Okay. And that's here somewhere. Let's see. And I'm putting them, I'm kind of mixing them together so that they're not so white. And I'm going to put just a tiny touch of blue in parts of it. But let me just start with the white, okay? All right. So let's see. I'm going to get a clean angle brush. And I'm just going to treat it kind of like it's hair. It's going to be a little bit like messy hair, okay? It's not going to be your big fat waterfalls, but more of your streams. Okay. So I wet my brush. I should have soaked it a little longer. Let's see, what else? Tina, what? Yeah, Tina, rewatch it later. Don't make yourself continue if you start it. Okay, so that was my zinc white. Zinc white's over here, titanium white's over here. I'm just mixing the two together so that I don't have such a white popping out, okay? Although I want some of it popping out. And I'm just going to make some hair coming down. So I'm going to come down this way like this, okay? And make it just like that. I'm going to have some like this and then some like this. Okay, so, and then I'm gonna just barely touch it into my phthalo blue. Wow, didn't take much. Mixing that together. All right, I didn't like that. Maybe I should, I've thrown a little burnt umber in there to calm that down. All right, and I'm just going to make little swishes coming down here. I'm going to go over it again with the zinc white. Very light touch, okay? So it looks like hair. Then I'm coming around here with it, okay? A little trickle here. All right, now I'm going to get my white. It's a little too much blue in there. Well, it sure didn't take much. I'm going to switch this out. Rinse my brush out because I want to go over that bluish part with some white. Okay. And I'm going to use my zinc white to go over the blue part because I want it to look, like I said, I want it to look kind of hairy. All right. That blue, man, that really saturated that white, and I barely touched it with the corner of my brush. Okay. There we go. That's better. Wipe that off. All right. This is the zinc white, and I'm going to go over it again. I'm going to go over that blue section. Okay, so it's not so blue. All right, and then here I am coming down here, and it's going to come all the way down, and it's going to go into the basin. And then here, same thing. It's going to come straight down. And you have to just be the water. Just become the water. And it's going over rocks. I'm going to throw some more rocks in there before I, and then it's going to land down here. It's gonna land down here a little bit.
Angela says it's looking amazing.
You're liking that? You know, this is one of those paintings you got to step back from, for sure. Definitely have to step back from this to see what it looks like. That's for sure. All right, I'm going to add some yellow ochre right here because I don't like the flatness. So I took my zinc white brush and I'm adding a little bit of, you can see some rocks in here. On all the parts that's just plain brown, I'm adding some yellow ochre, okay, because I didn't like that flatness. Okay. And I'm adding a little bit of some going downward underneath, okay. Now that gave me some rocks. See how not hard it is? And I'm gonna dip my corner of my brush, just the corner, and just dot, okay, just some dots. Okay, so there's your rocks.
Vera says she's loving this painting.
You're liking this? All right. Now, definitely have to clean my brush off. Oh, honey, looks like I need a whole bunch more of my favorite brushes.
Where are they at?
Oh, I'm from the store, I mean.
Oh.
George goes, oh. My favorite brushes, they're not the most expensive, but they're not the cheapest. And I don't want to be calling out brand names and getting in trouble. So I'll tell you, it's, I think, a German company, and it starts with a U. Anyway, that's my favorite. And I'm sure there's people that have good brushes. Uh-oh, I don't want to cross my tree. I'm sure there's people that have good brushes out there. Some of my friends have brushes that they sponsor. But I found this in by accident, I think, just trying out brushes. So this is what I'm using, in case you're wondering, because a lot of times people ask. Okay, so I've made my hair. I'm coming down here a little bit over the rocks. This is just zinc white. Well, no, it's not. Well, yeah, this part's just zinc white. So I'm coming over the rocks a little bit just to, so it's not so, the zinc white kind of disappears when it's by itself. Okay, there we go. All right. Now let me see what it looks like on camera. Okay, it's looking kind of okay. I'm going to take this burnt umber and I'm going to go through it just very ever so lightly. I'm even going to mix it into my zinc white so it's not so obvious. And I'm just going to go through the middle of it just a little bit. There we go. Just ever so lightly through that blue part. Okay. Okay. So now it looks like some of your rocks are showing through. And the rest is water, and I might hit the water one more time with some white. I want some real white. Where's my real white? My titanium white. I might go down there because I want a very bright streak, 2 bright streaks of white to come rise above the rest. So I'm gonna go this what I did before. So I want that streak that I had coming down to come. There we go. And I'm gonna do that with one more little piece. I want that one streak to come down, so I'm gonna come down here. I don't want to lose that. Okay, there we go. All right, and then down here I want it to be a little bit more, a little fluffy down here at the bottom where it lands. Okay, not bad. Okay, might just, yeah, a little sprinkle. Just a little sprinkle. Okay. Now, let me see how it looks on. Okay, it looks pretty decent over there. Okay, pretty decent. Now I get to the flowers. Yay. What time is it? 7:40. That's it? I need a sip of coffee. And I need to see how everybody's doing. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, it stormed here. Where are you, Vera? Because I'm seeing the weather pattern just from getting to know everyone. Mississippi. Okay. Because it seemed like about a week ago in the Missouri area, it was storming. And then a couple of nights ago, it was storming here, but I slept through it because I was so exhausted. I didn't even know it rained, let alone a big thunderstorm. And now it's raining where you are, so it's kind of interesting what's happening. All right. Yes, George has to. I'm really behind on this chat because I went backwards. Okay, thank you. All right, I think everything is dry now. I'm going to switch out my palette. I might come back and play around a little bit, but right now I'm switching out my palette because it's getting on my nerves. Okay. I still need some greens. I'm going to have a close-up plant, so I'm going to still need some greens. So I'm going to put a little phthalo blue on there. Not as much as I did before, because that phthalo blue goes a long ways. So a little phthalo blue. And, boy, I need some more paint too, babe. I've been painting like a crazy person lately. Oh my goodness. And then I'm going to add a little yellow ochre. And I'm going to add a touch of white to my palette. Titanium white. I don't think I'm going to need a part 2. I really don't. And a little titanium white to my palette. And a little yellow. And I'm gonna make these big, like big mama leaves here. They're gonna take up quite a bit of space. Okay, on top of your painting. You know what, when you feel like you're gonna kill your painting by putting something smack on top of everything, it ends up not being so bad. It's just scary. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take a little of the yellow ochre. And let's see if you can see me. Yes, you can. A little of the yellow ochre. A touch of the blue. Touch of the yellow. I know I'm not going in the right order. Shame on me. Touch of the white. All right, now I need a big touch of white. All right, that's about what I want. I want that, oh, I don't know. Oh, yeah, the color is like really pretty much what it is on what is showing on there. Okay, I'm happy. Okay, so the white made it a not so green. It's more of a whitish green. Okay, that makes sense. And I'm going to make these big, like, Hawaiian thingies. I don't know my plants, okay? And I don't have to grow them, but I like to paint them. So I'm going to make these big, kind of wavy leaves here. Yes, they're giant, aren't they? These giant leaves. And I'm going to make another one up here. It's going to go part way through my... That's why I wasn't worried about the coverage as much. And this one's going to be thinner. Okay. And then this one is going to go up like next to the tree. Okay. And it's going to be like this. And then I have one more that's going to be like this. And they're going to all connect. Okay. And then here's my connection. I'm going to dip into my yellow. Then some white, so it could look yellow. And it's still green. All right. So I'm just going to pinch it, pinch it, pinch it. I'm just trying to get more yellow on here. This is my, okay. And I really want it skinny. I mean, I really do. I should switch brushes. I think I will, because this one's kind of caked on. I really want it skinny. Let me see what I could use. I'll use this one, because this is no longer going to cut it.
Marie Forrest says, hey, Angie.
Hey,
Sam
who?
and I are watching.
Who's watching? Oh, Marie! Marie is my boo from work. All right. I forgot to do this, guys. I forgot to paint the the leaves. This is Angie on Not Enough Sleep. Okay, we're going to fill these leaves in before I go to the yellow with that same green and white. Okay. And I'm kind of going, okay, I'm going this way. All right. So, Marie, you got some rest? You getting ready for work? Are you at? Oh, I'm not going to tell on you. Okay. Filling those in. I need add a little water because I don't want to try to get that color back. That was a little too just by chance. Should I admit that I got the color I wanted so fast? Okay. And then scooped up that last little bit, and I'm okay. So these are the okay. All right. Now, what I need is, I really need yellow, yellow, yellow. So I'm going to wipe my brush off, rinse it off. All right, rinse it off. You guys are like probably wondering, what in the world did she just do to that painting? But you know, it was pretty boring, and we're fixing this up. We need some what do you call it, composition here, some perspective, and so we gotta do something else besides a waterfalls. Okay, now, so I grabbed my yellow. I'm thinking you could see it. I'm surprised. So far, you guys can see pretty much what I'm doing on this palette. Okay, and what I'm gonna do now is go to the center of these leaves and very lightly, probably didn't let it dry long enough, very lightly go through. Now this center is not going to be in the center because the leaf is sideways. It's hard to explain. So I'm going to go very close to the edge of this one so that you get the point of that, okay? So that's very close to the edge. And then I'm also going to take this same, and I'm going to just kind of put this loopy edge to it.
Say hi to Jan too, Angie.
Jan! Oh boy. You know what? If it was anybody else, they would be making me nervous, but those ladies, I'm telling you, they're awesome. Both of them. Okay. I'm going to just kind of make the edges a little wavy. Just a little wavy. So you got the point there, right? So I'm going to go a little faster because, you know, we don't have all night. So I'm going to go a little faster. Now that you got the point, I'll make my little thing in the middle. Make my little thing in the middle. And now I'm going to go over my little wavy edges. A little wavy here. Because that's how they are. They're not real stiff. A little wavy. I really want to go wavy on this bottom one, and I can't seem to get that. There we go. I really want to go wavy. There we go. All right, guys. So now I'm going to put cad yellow on here in a minute. But let me do this. It looks like I'm building this flower backwards. But there's a reason. All right, I'm going to take a fat yellow and titanium white line. A fat line here. Titanium white and yellow. Okay. And I'm going to make this fat little stem right here. And I'm going to go right down this right here off the page, canvas, whatever it is. All right, so I made that fat thing right there, and I'm going to be joining these. I'm going to be joining these leaves. See? And that's joined, and that's joined. See? Okay. Y'all happy? All right. I'm going to take this and make some, get a little bit more of this, a little bit more of that, and, you know, make some stuff in the background. It's going to be some same kind of leaves down here, you know, take a little white. It's going to be kind of the same thing down here, but a lot more not noticeable. You know, just kind of in the background and very painterly and that kind of stuff, you know, that kind of stuff. Really kind of blending it in. Well, that was a little too painterly, but you get my point. So that's going to be through here too. All right. Now I'm going to take some yellow and throw some yellow sort of on the edges here.
Angela says, oh, wow, Angela, looking more and more amazing.
Oh, man, you know what? You stick around, Angela. Stick around. I need you just to make me feel good. Keep it coming. Okay, now I'm excited. Now, what I need to do now is add cadmium red. Cadmium red to my palette.
Leanne says it's hard to see the bottom.
Oh, there's no real, you're that's it. That's the bottom. It's kind of just what you see. It runs off the canvas. It runs off. Okay. So now I'm going to throw some cadmium red on there. And I don't know why I put a whole ton on there because, why did I waste my cadmium red? I'm going to have to find a little container. Okay. Now. Oh, hang on a second. Hang on. I need to take some of this mixed yellow and white and a little bit of green, and I need to do some of these things on here. Okay. All right. That's good enough. Okay. All right. So I needed to do that. All right. Now, rinse my brush off. And
Angela to get in the mood to paint.
Angela, come on. You got to paint with me. I know you could paint. I've seen your painting. You can't play like you haven't painted. All right, this is the final touches. Final touches. Okay, so now I'm going to do what I showed you before. I'm going to do right side, left side, right side, left side, right side, left side, but not perfecty. So I'm going to be going like this, and then I'm going to go up here and go like this. And okay, I'm going to do the other side too. I'm just mashing my brush down, just mashing it down. Okay, now I'm going to highlight that, or not highlight, I'm going to shade that in a minute. I'm going to do this one too. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to do the same thing here. Same thing. So kind of right to left, but not in a, and going up the hill, but not in such a crazy perfect way. Okay, see that? Now I'm going to highlight that just a teeny bit with this white, just a teeny bit, to give it a little dimension. I'm going to throw a little white on here. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing down here on the other one. Just going to throw a little teeny, I'm making my brush really skinny. I'm throwing just a little white on here, just a little, just a little. Okay, not a lot, and maybe a little piece up there. Okay, now I'm going to go into my straight phthalo blue, and I'm going to put some little shading in there. Same way, just a little shading. Okay, because it's a little too boring and too fakey looking. Okay, okay, and then a little bit right here. Okay. What do you think? What do you think, people? What do you think? All right, let's see. Do. Love? Yay. I think I might throw another flower on here just because I don't like 2s, I like 3s. And this was a photo, so I think I'm throwing another flower in here. I'm going to throw one right here. Oh!
Angela says it's beautiful.
You like that? Oh! An unhappy accident. Okay. Just going to throw just another flower in there just because I don't like 2s. Okay? It just looks a little awkward. So I just...
Marie says beautiful.
You like that?
Jan says it looks like toucan just picked it.
Oh, you've seen these flowers before in Hawaii, didn't you? These look like kind of Hawaiian looking flowers to me. Jan is a traveling nurse, and she almost talked me into going to Hawaii with her, and then I woke up. I can't do that. Oh, I can't be going to Hawaii and Australia and all these places like I won the lotto or something, you know. Okay. Otherwise, I was ready, willing, and ready to join her. Okay, so I put some more flower on here, and then I'm just going to highlight a little bit with my yellow, but I need straight yellow, not green yellow. Just a little bit.
Oh, Hawaii is a hot spot right now.
Jan, you're funny. Hey, what do they say? Too soon?
No, I said that.
Oh, you said that. All right. So I'm just going to put a little bit of, what happened here? What happened to my, I'm almost done, guys. I'm just going to throw one more little thing on here and then calling it a day. But I have brown on my brush. Can't do that with yellow. Okay. So I'm just going to put a little bit of, yellow highlights on my, there we go, a little bit of yellow on there, just a little. Okay, there we go. That looks a little better, and I'm going to do that on here too. Okay, that's about it. I think we have it. That's about it.
George.
And I'm going to see if I could show you the palette, the canvas by itself. And I want to talk to you for just a second. Let me see. Canvas and brushes. How about, uh-oh. I don't know if I could do it. Where's my canvas? Picture. Oh, me. All three. No, it's just that. I guess that's the only thing. And then I'm going to switch out. Let me see. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. I want to show you a brighter because it is not dull like that. Let's see. Canvas and brushes. Configure video. Let me see. Canvas and brushes. Because it is much brighter than this. Let's see. Brightness. I brighten it up a little bit. And contrast it up a little. Let's see. What do we have? Hang on. Oh, am I making you dizzy? Saturate. Yeah, definitely more saturation. More sharpness. And a little less brightness. There. That's more like it. And camera control. Focus, focus, focus. Okay. Apply. Okay. There. And okay. And that's more. Oops. I forgot something. Hang on. Okay. And that's it. That is it. That's our flowers, our rocks, our waterfalls. That's everything that 3 people wanted to work on, and I put them all in one painting. I'm going to transition over here now. Okay. Alrighty, so that's everything that we're going to work on, all in one painting. You like it? All right. Okay, everybody. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you later in another place at another time. See you soon. Hope everybody that's feeling bad starts feeling better. And I hope everybody that's well stays well. Okay, take care. See ya. Bye. Love you guys. You're welcome. Bye-bye. Thank you. All right. So, Tina, when you do yours, put yours up. I'm going to go ahead and put mine up in the group, too. All right. You all have a good night. Leanne, have a good day. She's in Australia, so her day's just getting started. Thumbs up, subscribe, share. And take care of yourselves most of all. Love you too, Marie. All right. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye, Jan. Love you too. See you soon. Bye-bye.